Hello everyone, we are Group 23. Today we invite you to explore a fascinating connection between biology and economics. A journey from the microscopic world of cellular energy to the macroscopic systems that govern our financial lives. Our presentation insights from the ATP to ADP cycle, rethinking the future of money, draws inspiration from how nature manages energy through ATP, often called the energy currency of life. We'll examine how this decentralized, efficient, and demand-driven system can inspire a fresh perspective on how modern currencies might evolve, potentially leading us to a more adaptable, sustainable, and locally responsive economy. And here is our content. We divided it to 7 parts.
Let's talk about part 1, Introduction to ATP. ATP is often called the energy currency of the cell. It's made of 3 parts: adenine, ribose, and 3 phosphate groups. When a cell needs energy, ATP breaks down into ATP and 1 phosphate, and this process releases energy. Then, the cells use energy from food, like glucose, to turn ADP back into ATP, just like recharging a battery. What makes ADP really interesting is that it works in a decentralized way. Every cell produces and uses its own ATP, right where the energy is needed, like in nerve endings or muscle fibers. There's no central system giving orders. Everything is local and automatic. Let's talk about part 2, how ADP and ADP operate in a decentralized way. You can think of it like proteins in the cell membranes. Each one moves code in or out through its own small area. In the same way, ATP is made and used in specific sports. Each part of the cell does its own job, just like a peer-to-peer network. So, in simple terms, the ATP to ADP circle is like nature's version of a local power grid. It gives cells fast, smart, and local energy without needing any central control.
Okay, let's talk about part 3. ATP is often called energy currency of life. It circulates within cells to drive metabolism, growth, and repair. Money in economic systems serves as a medium of exchange and a unit of account and a store of value. Both are central mediators of flows, one of energy and other of value. ATP is an indispensable molecule for all lower life forms. It powers nearly every circular activity, from muscle contraction to DNA replication. What makes ATP extraordinary is its efficiency, controllability, and recyclability. It can be used, replenished, and regraduated in milliseconds, allowing organisms to adapt to constantly changing internal and external environments. In essence, ATP is not just a molecule, it is the ultimate economic instrument of biology. This presentation aims to draw a meaningful analogy between ATP in living systems and money in human society. Using this bio-inspired perspective to explore how currency could evolve by looking at how ATP enables energy circulation and sustainable operation and the circular life. Can we learn from ATP's model to rethink and re-energize how money works? Revisit the role of ATP in biology not just as a molecule, but as a highly efficient energy management tool. Establish a conceptual bridge between ATP and modern money, exploring the multiform of energy currents. Introduce real-world cases, including solar coin, ergos, and the 2 currencies.
Hello everyone, I'd like to share an interesting comparison between modern currency and ATP. ADP works as a medium of energy exchange and sales, just like money functions as a medium of value exchange in society. However, ADP is naturally produced, instantly circulated, and highly efficient. In contrast, modern currency is issued by central banks, circulates slowly, and is vulnerable to inflation crisis. ADP systems are small, decentralized, and cost almost nothing to operate. Meanwhile, currency systems are large, centralized, and involve high transaction costs. This comparison shows that nature's systems like ATP can inspire us to build more efficient and stable economic models. Next, I'll be presenting a new perspective on how future currencies might operate. Let's start with community currency. This is a form of money that is issued and circulated locally, addressing the immediate needs of a specific community. It supports decentralized, adaptive economic regulation, allowing communities to become more independent and responsible to local conditions. On the other hand, we have the blockchain wallet. In this system, currency is stored and transferred without central control. Blockchain ensures transparency, security, and trustworthiness, creating a financial environment where transactions are trackable and reliable. To support this system, we apply real-time monitoring technology. Through the Internet of Things, we can track economic activity in real time, enabling dynamic currency adjustment. At the same time, AI-powered matching system improve forecasting of currency and minimize inflation lag. This intelligent system allows for faster, more accurate economic responses. Finally, this currency framework actively encourages sustainable behavior. It provides rewards for the use of green energy and low carbon actions. Real-time feedback helps reinforce sustainable choices, similar to how ATP operates efficiently within biological systems. The ultimate goal is to support closed-loop ecological systems where resources are reused and environmental impact is minimized. Secondly, the system is designed to adapt to markets with minimal central intervention. This means the currency supply and distribution can respond naturally to real-time economic conditions, reducing delays and inefficiencies caused by traditional centralized decision-making. Finally, AI boosts real-time currency efficiency and ecological benefits. Artificial intelligence enhances the system's ability to make fast, data-driven decisions, while also aligning monetary activity with environmental sustainability goals, just like how ATP efficiently powers biological systems.
Okay, let's talking about the part 6, comparing the gold standard with the ATP energy system. In this part, just like the Dean said before, we compare the gold standard, a traditional form of commodity money, with the ATP to ADP system, which functions as the energy currency in biological systems. The gold standard relies on centralized issuance and limited supply. It emphasizes value stability through scarcity. While this works to maintain trust, it also comes with clear downsides, such as low flexibility, poor liquidity, and delayed response to economic shocks. On the other hand, ATP functions in a completely different way. It's decentralized, every cell can produce and consume it locally. The ATP to ATP cycle allows for a real-time, on-demand energy release and regeneration based on local needs. So, answer the question. Does the gold standard work like ATP? Not really. The gold standard lacks the key features that makes ATP so efficient: decentralization, adaptability, and instant regeneration. This construct gives us valuable insights. Perhaps future concerns can move away from rigid central control and instead adopt bio-inspired principles, just like ATP in cells.
Okay, let's talk about part 7, conclusion and outlook. To conclude, the ATP to ADP cycle offers more than just a biological insight. It serves as a metaphor for what money could become. Today's monetary systems are often slow, centralized, and vulnerable to inefficiencies. But ATP shows us another possibility. A system that is adaptive, decentralized, and constantly regeneration based on real-time needs. What if money could work like that? Digital technologies like AI, blockchain, and IoT might allow us to move toward a future of smart, energy-aware, and even self-regulation currencies. Instead of being controlled by central banks, money could one day flow organically through society, just like ATP flows through cells. And here is our references. So thank you for watching.